Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cowdino Arcade. Today we're back with video game therapy. I'm playing the Falconeer, and I'm hoping, I just hit the prologue, I'm hoping I can just fly around for a while. I don't really want to, you know, do anything story-wise, so hopefully that's not going to happen. It's Sunday. It's kind of weird to record these so soon, after one just went up at least. It's been a day, and I started reading a book by Haruki Murakami. If you don't know who he is, he's a Japanese novelist. You've probably read excerpts from things that he's written before. That would not surprise me. He wrote a book called, I guess it's kind of a memoir, what I talk about when I talk about running. Now, I guess some context. I got a pretty bad shin splint in my left leg, to the point where I needed to stop running for a while. And just this morning I did a 4-minute walking, 6-minute jogging 3 times. And on the second jog, I felt it again at the end. And I was doing really well the last 2 or so weeks. But anyway, I've really wanted to run lately. And, last night a bit, this afternoon especially, and even now, I kind of just want to run. It's one of the best ways I can get emotion out, but I can't without hurting myself. And I really don't want to do that because I do want to make sure I can run for the rest of my life. Anyway, I watched an anime that kind of made me connect with running on a certain level. And so this book jumped out at me as a result. And I'm going to go ahead and just open it up real quick. I could just glide here. Pretty sick. I'm on the second chapter. I read the first, I guess, forward yesterday, and I started reading this, and it just started making me think, because the last, I guess, 2 or so VGTs now, I've talked about why is it so hard to just do it, kind of thing. This is pretty cool. Very nice, I guess, I think. So Murakami is talking about when he wrote his first novel, I guess. But he kind of mentions how he ran a bar, I guess. Why is this going forward? It's very strange. Anyway, he wanted to run a bar. I guess from what I understand, it was his late 20s. And he writes this section about how people were kind of like, it's going to fail. There's no way this guy could run a bar. He's too naive. And he kind of just says, I agreed. I don't have aptitude for business. But, quote, I just figured, though, that since failure was not an option, I'd have to give it everything I had, end quote. And this got me thinking. Of course it did. The problem is, well, I don't know if it's a problem, but is my mouse moving? What is happening? Failure is an option for me in some sense. The last VGT I talked about my greatest achievement. And in some ways it's like I would have been fine if other things failed. I don't know if I would have been fine if that server didn't fail, but I'm not gonna keep talking about that. That's an extrapolation. I immediately thought when I read this, what if I made failure not an option? And this reminded me of the thing that people do, I guess, where they'll make a really big consequence for themselves if they don't finish something. For example, if I don't, which is something I did for a few days, if I don't complete 200 reviews on Boom Pro and 2 hours of Japanese study every day, I'll gift someone Discord Nitro on the Discord server. And to some degree, that worked. In the sense that, I didn't really want to get Discord Nitro. But then the 4th day it happened, someone didn't claim it because there's just not a lot of people on the server. Which, checks out. But, this is kind of cool. I will say this game is inspiring just because one guy made it, and just look at all of it. Anyway. That wasn't really enough of a punishment because $5 isn't that much for me. And Discord Nitro doesn't mean that much to other people. I don't like using money as a consequence because it feels like it's a consequence, but also not a consequence to me. Oh. You know, if I had to pay someone $500 because I didn't do 200 reviews one day, then I would just be like, okay, I'm not doing this again. It's just not, it will both feel like a loss, and yet not enough to make me do something, which is kind of weird to say. I don't spend much, and it's like, what else am I going to spend that money on anyway? That's the mentality I have of it not being a consequence, quote unquote. But anyhow, I was wondering, you know, maybe that's what people mean when they do this, when they say make yourself accountable, make failure not an option. There was a time when, for my lifestyle channel, at least for YouTube videos, I set up this thing called Beeminder that would charge my credit card $10 if I didn't upload a video. And right now I think it was like $5 and $8 and $10. The next increment is $20. And I started uploading a lot of videos. And right now, if I don't upload a video, next I'll get billed is like June or something of 2023. It's currently October. Maybe it's not that much now, but maybe I think it's 60 days, not the 6 month. I don't know. Anyway, point is I uploaded a lot of videos and that consequence isn't going to strike for a while. And that maybe that kind of worked, you know, maybe that had a subliminal effect that I still refuse to acknowledge, if you will. But anyway, in Murakami's book, so yeah, I'm already thinking about this topic, right? In Murakami's book, next page, he goes on to say that the work itself was hard. I worked from morning till late at night until I was exhausted. But I worked like crazy and I finally began to make enough profit, excuse me, to hire other people to help out. And this is the part I highlighted, as I neared the end of my 20s, I was finally able to take a breather. And talking about loans, he's settling up and, quote, up until then, it had been a question of sheer survival, of keeping my head above water, and I didn't have room to think of anything else, end quote. And this got me thinking too, shocker. What can I do to make something feel like survival? Not necessarily survival, but he also goes on to say about a novel that he had more interest in getting it finished than having it see the light of day. In other words, get published, which I think is a thing in its own. But if he has to work so hard and think about something so much, and I guess I'll just say this generally, that you know, he's probably not the only one. Intense music probably means something bad to happen. Oh shoot, I don't want to play the game right now. Then, you know, what if maybe I have too much time to think? And if I have too much time to think, maybe I'm not that I'm not doing enough, but I'm not taking things seriously enough. Yesterday, I rewatched the last episode of Erased, an anime that kind of made me think quite a bit. I wrote down, you know, take the bull by the horns every time to open the path ahead. And this is maybe an unrelated thought, but you know, I question my work ethic because, you know, why am I doing what I'm doing? My job obviously has its downsides. If I don't do it, I get fired, right? And it's not like I don't want to do my job. Don't get me wrong. I do like my job. I genuinely find it interesting. And I'm learning quite a bit from it. It's just a matter of the other things, I guess. You know, when I'm studying Japanese, when I take the N3 in December, failure is quite literally an option. I will take that exam and I will either succeed or I will fail. You know, it's literally a pass-fail exam. If I succeed, great. I get to prove something. I don't really know what I get to prove, if we're being honest. If I fail, then, You know, I already told myself I'm just going to keep working on my Japanese in general, either pass or fail, and take the exam in July. Excuse me. Did not sleep well last night. It's been a day. I'll put it that way. And so immediately I'm thinking, well, what if some way, somehow, I make failure of this exam not an option? Which is kind of not, I don't want to say cruel, but it feels like a bit much, I will say. It's not like I have that many options. You know, it's either if I fail, then I have to force myself to quit Japanese, which is not something I want to do, and it totally counterproductive, because if I'm going to quit if I fail, then I might as well just quit now. You know, it's its own little paradox. So I don't even want to start it. And you know, I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much, but there are people who make decisions in their lives. They put all of their stakes on the table, I guess you can say, all their eggs in one basket. And you know, you hear the success stories. You don't hear the failures, because they are inherently failures. It's just what happens. But you know, the people who drop out of school to pursue YouTube, or the people who just quit their job and run on savings to make the game they've always wanted to make. And sometimes it works out, and it's pretty cool to see it when it does. Just wanted to do that for the fun of it. But I don't have the courage to do that. Not right now, at least. And I don't have it because I don't see it as a means of, you know, I just dropped out of school, my parents were rejecting me, I either make this video game work or I'm on the street kind of thing. And therefore it's a matter of survival. And I don't want to forcefully put myself in that situation. You know, no one chooses to be in that situation. Inherently, the example I gave is not, you know, a pleasant one. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I mean, I'm going to be honest. If someone tells you they have it all figured out, they're lying. Likely. But keeping my, you know, hierarchy of needs satisfied here, you know, having a roof over my head, having food on the table. Keeping that in, how can I somehow take this idea of make failure not an option and apply it in my life? That's kind of what I'm going for here. And I think I naively thought that if I was going to record video game therapy, I'd come to some sort of solution here. You know, the things that are most potent to me right now are Japanese. What do I do? You know, how do I make failure to study 2 hours a day not an option? How do I totally remove that from the list of things that can happen? Because it's fathomable that I'll fail the N3. It's fathomable that I'll not do 2 hours today. Fathomable as in, yeah, that'll probably happen. For the second thing is YouTube videos. I mean, I remember the day I was like, oh, I want to hit 1K. But, you know, the hedonic treadmill gets us all. And so I'm at 6,100, 6,200 subscribers. And I want to make weekly videos again, just for the fun of it. Put research, put effort into them. I certainly have the time. I finally wrote down the script for an analysis video for game design for Cowdino. Another thing is the other thing is this app called Twitless, Angular and a Go backend. And it's like, I want to do these things. I have a desire, right? But going with Murakami and what he said about his novel, I shouldn't have a desire for these things to see the light of day. And I think that is a really good way to abstract from the desire of, you know, fame, money, whatever. For YouTube, yeah, the goal is to have a lot of people watch my content because, you know, a lot of people watch my typing videos and I've gotten people saying they're better at typing because of me. And that's a great feeling. And, you know, with my reading rambles, I want more people to watch them because then maybe I can inspire more people to read as someone's video did for me. That's, you know, the reason why I do those reading rambles. But failure is still an option because if I don't make those, then nothing's missing from people's lives. And that's whatever. If I don't, you know, so abstracting away from the notion that, okay, Twitless's motivation is to get, you know, to take away the addictive part of Twitter, I should just focus on not just getting the project complete. Because if I want to just focus on completing the project, then I have to figure out why I want to complete it. But what if I just want this thing to be... I have a desire for it. Wait, what? Wait, did I just say the thing against what I've been saying? Desire for it to be complete? Yeah, having it finished. Well, not complete, finished. I think there's a very big difference. Who knows, maybe I'm just BSing myself. I genuinely don't know what I'm thinking. But, you know, for Twitless, have a desire to finish it, finish the analysis video. Don't try and complete it and make it what you envision it. You know, what else can you ask for, right? With some videos, it's just, you know, the parkour video, it's nothing like what I envisioned it, but hey, I finished it. I got it out into the world. And I got some really nice comments from people about it. Some guy even showed up to parkour because of it. Like that blew my mind. I had sprained my ankle, so I was a little like, but I was like, oh, cool. It was very awkward. I was very awkward in that 4 seconds, but sometimes you just gotta finish something and maybe it'll do what you want it to do. And I've somehow redefined luck. Luck is where chance meets, whereas preparation meets opportunity. I finally released a typing video and the opportunity of the algorithm to take it away took it away. So it just sort of becomes like, hey, what if I make failure for Twitless not an option? I could do the payment thing on a smaller scale, actually. Oh, is this what's been making me go up every time? Yeah. Now that I think about it, you know, if I don't finish Twitless by the end of October, I don't know, give someone $100 or something. I don't really know. I gotta figure out something without money. One threat for myself is if I don't finish it by October, I have to abandon it completely. Which is kind of a scary thought, because I don't want to do that. I do want to complete this project some way, somehow. But I suppose I just have to come up with some way to make failure not an option. And I don't know how I've done that in the past. If I've ever done that in the past, but something to experiment with, some food for thought. This VGT is getting long enough. I've done enough talking out of my ass. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, don't forget to stay awesome. Keep your head high. Peace.